Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Oh, I lost my China again. You know, about 2 years ago, Wei Feng and I had to go back to Canada because she was sick. We had a cancer scare, and it took about 18 months in Canada before we could go back to China. And about five and a half months ago, I was able to make it back to China, get back into our own, our old lives, the ones that we like in our home on Hojilu. Well, it's 5.5 months later, and we had to leave China again. And I've only been out of there for 2 weeks, and I miss it hard. I miss going to my gym. You see, I was in a routine when I was over there. 5 days a week, I'd hit the gym, and you sort of feel good about yourself. We have our favorite breakfast spots. We have our favorite eating spots. I have a couple of my favorite drinking holes. The Queen's Head Pub and Bob's Bar, among others. But you see, not only that, but we adopted a little kitten, Mimi, and we had to leave her at a friend's place. So I miss that too. There's so many things. I miss our home in Hojilu. I sort of miss the hustle and bustle of China. Thought about 4 months into our trip to China, this nasty virus hit, and it sort of stole the China that we knew away from us. Instead of being able to go out for our morning breakfast, they're not open. Why? Because everything's closed. I couldn't go to my favorite gym, because when I went there after the holiday was over, the doors were closed. Yeah, closed until further notice. Couldn't go to my favorite bars. Why not? Because everything's locked up. So I sort of lost my China before we even left China. Part of loving China is the hustle and bustle, your daily activities, the people that you hang out with, the bars that you go to, the restaurants you hit, the morning soups that you hit, the gym, and all of those things that make your life worth living over there. That was all taken away from us around the 30th of January, 28th of January actually. So after that, it was sort of just treading water there, and it wasn't that much fun anymore. Now we're in Thailand. We were in Bangkok for a while at Alex's place, and that was okay. And now we're down in Pattaya, and it's a beautiful place. It's vibrant. There's people on the street. There's, not everybody has to wear masks here. It's just one of those places. It's beautiful, warm weather, cold beer, and the whole 9 yards. It's a lot like China, but you know what? It's not like home, because we've been living in China off and on since 2003, and basically full time since 2014, except for the time where we were back when Wei Feng got sick. China's become our home. We sold all of our properties in Saskatchewan and bought a place on Vancouver Island, and we've spent more time in our place on Hojilu in Nanning than we have at our place in Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. So the Vancouver Island place is sort of like going to a hotel. We're not really feeling like we're at home there. And when we were there, we were dealing with Wei Feng's sickness, so sort of bad vibes and stuff. So, and being in Thailand, it's not home. It's we feel that, and we're really missing it. And we wish that we could just go back and resume our old lives like it was a couple months ago, or even a month ago. Go pick up Mimi from our friend's place, head down to my local wet market, buy some barbecue duck, and for 10 RMB, $2, munch out on that as I'm heading through the Walmart to pick up a couple of big tall ass beers and get on my e-bike and cruise the streets of Nanning. See, that's what I enjoy. As an older guy, that's all it takes to keep me entertained. And sure, this is a beautiful place. There's beautiful people. There's beautiful weather. The beer is ice cold, but it's just not the same. unlike Nanning, when you're walking around Bangkok or Pattaya, there's so many foreigners, there's so many tourists that it has to take on that touristy feeling. And that's okay, you know, for some people. And for a short time period, it sort of feels good being a tourist. You know, you have no responsibility, you're sort of on vacation. Life is easy, carefree type thing. And when you're in Nanning, because we've got to take care of Wei Fong's dad, yeah, sure, we have responsibilities there, but very few responsibilities. And the beer flows freely and the food is great. But after a little while, being on vacation, being a tourist gets a little bit old. And we're feeling it this last couple of days. After we went from Bangkok to Pattaya, we're sort of on our own in a foreign country. It's just one of those things that it's just not the same. One of the larger things that, or the biggest thing that I miss is our friends and our family in China. Wu Fa was quarantined here the other day in his apartment complex. He's an electrician, works for the school district, and somebody in his apartment complex came down with that nasty sickness. So what they did is they quarantined the whole apartment complex, so he can't get out. So we worry about him. We worry about all of our friends and our family in Nanning at this point, because as they say, and as the people say in Nanning that I'm in contact with, that it's sort of reared its ugly head there over the last 4 days. And that's one of the things that I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but it did. So that sort of adds to it. You know, it feels like we sort of abandoned them. Yeah, that's you know, I know that I abandoned our cat with a friend. At least the Mimi has a nice place to live, but you know, abandoning friends and family, it's another story. And yeah, it doesn't make me feel good, not even a little bit. Sure, the weather, the place that we're staying at and stuff, it's beautiful. It's you know, it's a nice place, but it's as I say, it's not home. One of the things that I do to keep my mind off of it is make these videos and vlogs that I guess it's a diary of my life and what we go through, both Wei Fong and I. And it's one of the things that sort of keeps my mind off all of the bad things that have been happening over the last month or even 2 months. One of the biggest things we're going to miss this year is on April the 6th, we go down and do grave sweeping day. It's one of the days that we, you know, all the family gets together in Bobai. Cousins, aunts, uncles, you name it. Everybody goes and we go out and we clean up the graves on the top of the mountains of our ancestors, and one in particular, Wei Fong's mother, who died in 2011. Get this, November the 11th of 2011 at 11 p.m. at night, she passed away. How significant, eh? So we're gonna miss that this year, and that's one of the significant things that we do each year, is go and clean off the grave, make sure that it's looking pretty spiffy for the next year, get rid of the weeds, and we blow off firecrackers, and we bring sort of offerings to. It's complicated with paper money and paper clothes. It's all superstition. I understand that, but it's a superstition that Wei Fong and her family, cousins, everybody believe in. So we do it every year. It's part of the culture. Then at the end of this 3-day sort of 6th, 7th, 8th of April, the whole village gets together, and all of these sacrifices that we've been hauling up and down these mountains, like a big pig and chickens and ducks and geese and you name it. The whole village gets together and we have this big outdoor feast. Like the walks are like 4 feet wide and stuff. It's like you get like 200-300 people, and the beer flies and everything. I'm gonna really miss. Fall down there. I'm gonna really miss that this year, because that's sort of one of the highlights of our whole year in China, is getting together with our family in Bobai. And yeah, sure, it's a farm. It's off the beaten path. It's not the cleanest place in the world, but the people are the kindest people I've ever met. So for a lot of people that know me, this is another whining rant from Gweilo 60. It's one of those things that I do every once in a while. Not feeling sorry for myself, but just letting you know what's traveling through my mind, how I think, what our experiences are. And yeah, I'm missing my China really bad. I'm missing hanging out at the university grounds because it's so nice there. Walking around, riding my bike, all of those things that you've grown to see on my videos over the last 2.5 years. And one of the things that I really miss is just hanging out on Ho Chi Lu with Wei Fong in the evening, watching TV, or eating, having a couple beers with friends coming over, things like that. It's or barbecue on the roof with friends. See, that was the biggest thing about the last couple of weeks in Nanning, that everybody stayed to themselves. Nobody could go out. We weren't congregating together. Well, except for maybe that New Year's Eve free supper. But you see, that was before everything hit the fan over there. We really didn't know the extent of what was going on. And anyway, over the next couple of days, we're setting up a little thing with a couple other YouTubers. I'm going to keep it a little bit of a secret, but they're some of the larger YouTubers, all old boys that are pro-China in China. And yeah, it's going to be sort of like a Q&A, 4 people live streaming, and all of these are the old boys, so keep tuned for that. And that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit your subscribe button again, because as you know, YouTube is deleting my stuff just as fast as it comes up. And never forget to put a couple of bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for poor rural Chinese children. It's a good cause. At 2 minutes and 8 minutes of every video, a little card comes out saying either help the children, support the children, or make me proud. That's a direct link to the Patreon account. I think there's about $2,500 on it, and it's growing at $900 per month right now. So we're doing good in raising money for this worthy cause. So dig down deep, help out, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye now.